This thing is wonky tonight. I hit the live, but it just wasn't doing anything. So I stopped it and hit the live again. I hope that this is good. I hope y'all can see me. Let me know. Somebody leave a comment. I was trying to talk to Brenda a second ago and it wasn't working. Good night, you guys. One day. Okay, it's showing good on my computer, just not on the iPad. So, are we live? Yes, it's showing live. Okay. There we go. Hey, Mary. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Tina. And hi, Brenda. I am so glad y'all hung out and waited for me because something happened kind of wonky. I'm not sure what. Hi, Kim Vogel. Hi, Betty. Hope you're feeling good. All right, friends. I've got the sweetest nativity. You know that we've been doing a lot of Christmas, and we did a painted nativity in my group the other day. Let's show y'all what that looked like. We had, and probably most of them haven't even had time to do it, but this is a palette knife little manger scene. And then tonight's we're going to do together, and this one I did on just a little canvas but made it into an ornament. You'll see that. And then tonight I want to take this same, scene and do mixed media. I love mixed media, and I think it really, changes the look of things. I know, Brenda, I remember your mixed media nativity last year. You did a fantastic job. So I hope some of y'all will try it again this year. I like to do a different design every year. It's usually similar because, how different do we get on nativities, right? But I'm going to show y'all how easy it is. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Leanne. Glad y'all are coming in. I'm going to be sure I'm in. Okay, somebody just holler at me if I go out of, off the screen. So we got a lot, you can do with this design. So first of all, we're going to do a little background, and I moved a lot of things off my desk, so I've got to pick these back up. Save your Amazon sacks or any kind of grocery sacks you get. I don't mean save them, but save one, and when you use it, then you can start saving another one. You don't need a million of them, but I do like to use that with mixed media. You can use anything you have. I'm very organized with my mixed media supplies. I have to be. And so I've got everything. These are what I use with collage, and I'm going to be using that in this technique. So I'm going to pull my blue and brown, which this has browns and some peaches and yellows, and so that's, I think, the only two I need. And it's got yellow in it, so that's all I need there. And then some papers. So I'm going to pull this scrapbook paper that I have, and that's going to be our background. I think that's all I need. And then a hem page, or maybe, excuse me. Hello, Patty Knight. Hi, Laveda. Thank you guys for sending this out there. I do appreciate that very much. We want to get more friends here, grow the channel, do all the things so that we can get, get more people creating. My gosh, art is the most relaxing thing you can do, in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of different things, but I love creating and showing people how creating can help you to relax and de-stress. So I am just putting some Mod Podge down. Now on this one here, I use my Liquitex Heavy Body Gel, but this is Mod Podge Matte, and it's pretty new to me. I usually do use glossy, even though, oh, that was too much. Even though a lot of people really like matte things for mixed media, I have always done glossy. That's just me, what I like. But I do want to try the matte on here because I'm kind of I just want to see how matte looks compared to glossy. So I'm going to get a good coat down on this wood. This is a 6x6 wood frame or wood canvas. Hey, Teresa. Mixed media, yes. Love. Oh, I know. Yeah, I can read typos. or autocorrect. So sometimes I will even take, if I see that peeling up, I'll kind of take and peel that extra layer if I don't want it super thick. It doesn't really matter on this wood, so you can, but I do like to tear it because you're going to get more texture this way. Your piece will be more textured to have different pieces or different strips, but you don't have to. Sometimes I'll put some in a lid. I need to put that in a squeeze bottle. Y'all let me know how you're doing tonight. Had a little bit of a rough time, but I was determined to be live with y'all. So thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. And if you're in the VIP group, we'll be live tomorrow at 6 Central inside the group, and we'll talk there. I'll let you know what's the latest. I won't do that here, but hopefully you guys are all doing good and had a good weekend. A&M won. I was so happy to. So let me know if your team won. So see, I'm just kind of putting these pieces down. But the way, if you put them down the way I'm doing in strips, you're going to get all of this, anywhere they intersect, you're going to get all that additional texture and kind of interest. But you definitely can just put it down in one sheet if you prefer. I am generous with my Mod Podge. Teresa, how are you? Y'all let me know how you're doing. And are you guys, is anybody freaking out the way I am about how fast time is going and Thanksgiving's coming? And, I'm sure you've got your menu ready, but it's like, I think because I've been down a little bit for a week, it just feels like I don't have enough time. It's all coming so fast, and you know how it is. Now this paper is from a book I bought at Michael's last year. They probably still have it, but you can look, through your stash. If you just have some, say you were wanting to do the same thing, but you don't want to go buy something, just look for something blue. Do you have some blue papers that you can use? Maybe something out of a magazine. So see how thin that got? Because I kind of pulled it off. I love that. I like having that thin piece. It goes down so easy and dries fast. Not seeing comments. I hope some of you guys are chit-chatting with me. That's the fun of being live with y'all. I do plan to try to do some videos rather than live because I know not everybody wants to hear the chatting, but I do like catching up with y'all when we can. I'm not going to mess with trying to peel off that thicker backing, but sometimes it does just come off really easy, and I like that. Hey Sherry, you're here. Good. Okay, I appreciate it. We are doing an ornament exchange inside my private membership, and I am looking so forward to it. I hope everybody will do it. Have you guys done ornament exchanges before? Have you ever done one just online? I think it's kind of fun because you'll have something, from somebody from another state usually, and it's kind of nice to have. We also, those of us who choose to, we exchange ATCs, our artist trading cards, little 2.5 by 3.5 inch cards. And it's just your original artwork or, mixed media. It could be anything. And those are fun to exchange. But I just really value having art from the people that I care about. So those make it easy because they're small and easy to do. You enjoy the chatting. I do too. Yeah, I know it's not for everybody, so replay watchers can put it on mute and just watch. Hi, Joyce. I know, I'm glad you're here. That makes me so happy. I never see you in the group, but I believe you're still in there. Thank y'all so much for coming over to YouTube. I know just about everybody that watches me, I've been friends with on Facebook because I don't do much over there anymore at all. And I just read, I don't know if you guys saw the story, probably isn't even recent, but I just read about it with all of the security issues with Facebook and stuff I already knew just from personal experience, how they sell information to other companies and stuff like that. And it just gave me such the creeps. And it was talking about how much money, you know, Zuckerberg has and you know how much they're getting by selling our information, and it just really bothers me. And so I don't miss that platform. I do miss the people, so I don't really see a lot of the same people. A lot of people only watch creators that are live over on Facebook, but I'm very grateful that you guys still will come over here for me. You got scammed, Tina. I'm so sorry. It happens so much. And what the article was talking about was that they know the account of the person or, you know, maybe group who was doing this scamming, and they did not do anything about it. Basically, the gist of the article was because they spend so much with them on ads. So they didn't want to lose that money by putting them off the platform. I mean, it was just wild. I just couldn't even believe what I was reading. So it was on a reputable news station. You know, it's not like it was some crazy, weird company reporting that, but I don't know. We just all have to be extra careful. And, you know, we're still going to get it sometimes because there's so many people that will work extra hard to figure out how to scam us. But I'm certainly not going to help them. You know what I mean? So, okay. That's the hardest part of what we're going to do here. It's just getting your background down. Just taking the time to glue everything down well. And as you see here, like I saw a corner, it's not quite down. Just take a little more and then put it down. I am real careful to go over all of the seams where it intersects really well. And if you're not in a hurry, you can just sit here and let this dry and go about your day and do something else and then come back and finish it. I'm going to use my heat tool because, you know, I don't have the luxury of time. But I am just making sure I've got a really good seal with everything. Mixed media, I always ruin my nails because I am in here with it. See my finger, I'm getting everything down. I use my fingers. So get in there and get grimy. It's okay. Let's actually do a little bit of base for our hay. Move all this paper. So like I said, I will use what I have and kind of organize my scraps for mixed media, and then I also use this for collage work. So some of this is, you know, pieces of magazine that has really pretty color, or if I painted something and I no longer need that painting, maybe I did it in a mixed media book, sometimes I'll tear that painting up and put the pieces in here, which is what this is. So we're going to just kind of put some down here at the bottom. I'll also use that grocery bag. That's one thing that I wanted to do, is show y'all how to use this stuff. This is perfect for your, you know, what do you call it? Just like for the hay or the background kind of piece. Now, what I will do is take my little razor Oh, I'm going to have to read that in a minute. I see, Tina, you, some kind of vendor. Yeah. It really, everything will look so legit, you know. I'm definitely very, very skeptical and cautious just because I have heard so many. I mean, personally, friends who have been scammed on Facebook. So now I'm just like almost probably too careful. But anyway, I'm just taking that razor and scraping off that padding that they put on these little envelopes so that it's, you know, kind of more flat there. And then I'm going to use that as my, hey, look how cute that looks, just because it's all kind of rough and imperfect. So I'm going to just add some more of our Mod Podge down here. And then lay that on about where I want it. And, oh, look how perfect. That is just perfect. I love that. A little more on top to seal everything down. But I just thought that frayed edge that you have right here is going to be perfect for that. And I did it on this one, but I did it a little neater. And I think this is so cool. So there's that. And then we can always put a few other things just to kind of like on this one, you've got a little bit of like orange back there and the yellow and just kind of make it look imperfect and kind of like the look of hay might get, you know. So if you want to take some other pieces, you can just put those down. Isn't that paper perfect, Sherry? Like I said, I had got it last year. You know, if you'll watch the sales, I do believe I got it before Christmas, but it was on sale. So it was really, I got a good price for that little book of paper. And it's all Christmas related. But, you know, you can certainly just use something out of a magazine. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Teresa. And that's so frustrating because I know y'all planned for that and made things for that. So are you not going to have it or just reschedule? What's the deal? Now I've got some of these little strips down here that I'm adding like this. And I'll probably add a little bit more of our brown too. So I just grabbed another little bit of it. And kind of add that in here with the mix. Kind of blend them together a little bit. It's supposed to be last month. Oh. And then maybe even a few more little pieces to kind of mimic the look of hay. Oh, you know, with AI, you guys, I think we're going to have more and more things that look real that aren't, right? So we're going to have to really be careful, especially as we age, you know. It seems like they target us because we're not as savvy as some of the young people. Is that Andrea? I hope so. How are you? Anyway, so yeah, kind of look after each other and warn each other. You know, I'm just saying you can add as much or as little. Let's add a little piece of this. Is just like a little magazine. You can add whatever you want to kind of get a textured random look down here. It's just kind of fun too to layer up all your pieces. think I had two yellows together, so let's kind of, okay. I think that's going to be good once I take the edges off. I usually let them dry and then scrape them off. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay. Glad you're here. I miss you guys when you're not around. Okay. That's good. Let that dry and we'll take the edges off in a little bit. So just ignore the edge. Okay, now let's do our manger. And I did have a little template made. So, you know, the way you can do that is take whatever you're using. You can have just a piece of paper or whatever. And this is just an easy way to get a perfect, you know, shape. So we've got a piece of paper. We have folded it in half. And then we're just going to cut our manger, but you're just cutting half of it. So you just start here. I usually like to kind of come down a little. You've got a nice straight edge here, and then we can do a straight edge here. And that is your manger shape, right? So I've already cut this one, so I'll use it since I've already scraped. Most of this is all flat on there, and this one needs to be scraped. But anyway, you see the gist of it there. So let me move that up and put this here. Now, what I'm going to do with this is we're going to create kind of a wood look with all of our brown strips of paper. So pulling all these brown ones over here. There's another one I did. See, I've got lots of these mangers. Some are in my Etsy shop. Some will be added soon. Grab a few more of these brown pieces. The only problem with having, I am organized like this, but then when I'm done, I have to get all of this put back where it goes, you know. So I just take these and we're going to just put them right on top of this brown. The brown paper here is just kind of our base layer. I just use it as a guide for the size and everything. You didn't lose a slide? Let's see. Yes, I know you said that. So sorry that happened. And I definitely can see how, because sometimes when I'm taking our knife out of the dishwasher, I almost slice mine off. I don't like sharp knives like that. They're so sharp. Hi, Marcia. That's okay. Glad you're here. It's so much better to be late than not come. Makes my day to see y'all pop in. So again, this is a little thick because it's got two. This is one that I had painted something in my mixed media book. So it's got paint on both sides of the page. So I'm just kind of peeling off a little bit of that. If I can, it's not a big deal. It'll just make it thinner and easier. So something like that. And then we just start using our other colors. Now this is kind of the same color as the sack, but you get the idea. We'll use lots of different pieces here. Guess I can put my brush down. Let's get another brown going. You just sharpened it. So how many stitches did they have to do? Oh, good. You haven't been doing therapy, Marcia? I thought you already had been doing therapy. Am I wrong? So see, we'll put some of these in there. And even like this photo, this is just a piece of a photo, but see the browns in it? That's really pretty. So we're going to add that. So once you think you have enough, you know, we'll just kind of start layering. So I'm going to put down my Mod Podge. And as you see, I'm kind of trying to layer the different colors. But let it be very imperfect. Mixed media is so fun because there are no rules and things don't have to be perfect, but it usually turns out so cute anyway, you know? So it's really forgiving. And you can just use up all your scraps, which makes you feel good that you're, you know, using them. Hi, Judy. Did in-home. Okay. Okay. Well, do you like the place you're going to? Yes, Joanne, for sure. How are you doing tonight? Um, I really am a big recycler, so this always makes me feel good when I can, you know, reuse stuff and find another use for it. Um, you know, you don't have to go buy like a book of paper. Seriously, challenge yourself to just use magazines, old magazines, and, you know, even book pages. You can paint book pages out of old books that you know, maybe they're not even worth passing on to anybody. Or Dollar Tree has books for $1.25, of course. Well, used to. I think their prices are going up, but you know what I mean. Oh, you did texture nativity painting on church pew wood. Oh, Patty, that makes me so happy. If you guys ever want to post your pictures, you know I've got a free Facebook group. It's the um, Art and Craft Showcase. I'd love to see what y'all did. I don't know. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Facebook or YouTube has a way for y'all to post pictures, right? It is easy, especially these kind of things like this. You see what I'm doing. You're just putting it down with your glue or your Mod Podge or whatever you want to use. We're doing this nativity. Can you see? Oops, I forgot I moved it. This is what we're doing. I'm just doing it on a little bit smaller size. So it's a mixed media nativity or manger scene. And we're just using up all these pieces of paper that I have. And we're creating kind of a wood look. Now remember, everything that you're creating like this, it's a faux wood look, right? You know, everybody that sees it will know that we're trying to mimic wood. We're not trying to look like it's really wood. It's just fun to use up what you have. And just layer. I'm a big layer person, even when it comes to painting. I like to do everything in layers. Did anybody that knows me purchase the art bundles for good? Today is the last day, and it is such a fantastic bundle. It's got over 100 different art classes, and each class has resources within it. So I know I gave a huge supply list with links to all of the supplies that I used. Took me a long time to create that. Other people will have tracers and, you know, I don't know what all. I haven't had time to look, but it breaks down to being about $1 per class, which is just completely insane. It's $5,000 or more worth of art classes, and you only pay $109. So if you can swing it, you will not regret it. It is totally worth it. I know that, you know, we're all cutting back and it's, you know, it's a lot, but if you like art and you want to learn different types of art even, because there's just everything you can think of. Watercolor, mixed media, painting, glass art, resin, you know, whatever you can think of is in there. And some of the teachers that you already know and love, Angela Anderson, Tamara Laporte. I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head, and I hate to leave people out, but there's a lot of great artists in that bundle. Don't ask me how I got included, but I am so grateful. And I really, really loved the class that I taught. So I hope you guys that can swing it will consider it, because it is a great deal. And 25% goes to helping women in Uganda, which I think is fabulous. Anytime we can use our talents and our gifts to help, you know. Okay. And then for the legs of the manger, I'm just using one of these pieces, and you can, pick whatever you want, whichever one or whatever you have. I'm just going to tear them to create legs. And it was easy. I'm so glad to hear that, Patty. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's take a look. This isn't quite dry, so I'm not going to try to take that corner or that edge off yet. But let's just kind of start getting our bearings on where this will go. So like say something like that. I totally understand. I didn't know if he was offering any kind of, I know like some things you can do like PayPal credit, because I've done that. I've done that when I needed to take, in fact, it was for a course about business stuff. And I put it on there and paid it out. So yeah, I don't know about what all options there might be, but it's definitely worth it for those who can swing it. I know it's expensive, but just so worth it. Okay, so that's going to be good for our manger. I'm not going to glue anything down yet because I want to kind of get all my pieces together. See if I want to do anything on the background like I did on this one. I did use a stencil on a few places and things. I may not on this one. I'm just going to kind of keep working and keep getting this ready. So again, you can take, this is a magazine. Actually, this is a flyer I received in the mail, and I used a palette. I used it for a palette. But yeah, you might, Judy. It's just so worth it if you can. So there's that. But or you could use this for the baby Jesus face. This is just definitely mixed media with my painting, so I'm going to use that. And I'll just make a little circle, and I kind of have it at an angle, so like something like that. And then I'll cut on the inside because I don't want the pencil lines. And you can tear too, but I'm just going to cut. Something like that. And then take a piece of another, either painting, or I like to find something kind of interesting if I can. So like that looks pretty interesting because it's got a lot going on. You see it? It won't be a big deal since it's pretty small though, so it really doesn't matter too much. And I actually have a piece of that that's going to be the right size, so I'll save that large one for something else that I need. And then I'll just kind of lay it down, kind of, I usually go for it and here, I'll just show you what I do. I'll just kind of go for it because I know the shape that I want for a little kind of bundle, which is all this is, just a little baby bundle. So let's put this on the dark so y'all can see it. So something like that works. And then we're going to bring the blanket up over his head. So I'll just take another piece and just take my finger and kind of tear it, going down. And then I know I need to come in a little more, so I'll kind of come in. And that right there might work. Let's see. See? I think I made his head really big or long. I'm going to cut it down a little. I was wondering though if any of anybody I knew got the bundle. It's just such a fabulous you know, just go look. If you haven't, I'll add the link in here when I get done with my live. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and you can just go look and see. But there's a list of all the lessons you would get, and it's just so many good ones. I can't wait to do some of them myself. So there's that. There's baby Jesus. We have the manger. I guess I can leave him up here, you know, so y'all get a little visual. We'll put it together right in a minute. And then let's make some hay also out of our papers. That's too bright. I don't know why I even pulled that. But this is a good color for hay. This is good. That's good. And then some yellow. And even some of our brown is fine. And again, you can just tear it like I usually tear it into little curves like that. But I'll tell you, on this one, was it this one? No, this one I tore. And then this one, this little ornament, I cut. And see how it looks just as cute cut. Can y'all see that? Hope I'm in camera range here. Anyway, so hi Joan. So happy to see y'all popping in. So you can cut it if it's easier for you. It is easier personally. So let's just cut some and I'll show you. But I cut it into curves like this. And usually I go pretty quick. It is easy. Now, when you're done, or if you gift it to somebody, they won't think so because they don't, you know, they may not have ever done this. But you know it's easy. And I like to show y'all things that are going to be pretty but easy. So there's our first strip. Obviously that's too long. So I'm just going to, you know, cut it down, and there we'll have our first thing of hay. And then you just do that over and over, and you just go quick. Doesn't need to be perfect. And we'll add all these little pieces. If you have a lot of time, you could do this in a large size. If you don't have much time, you can do like a little ornament or a little canvas, you know. But at least you're getting the idea, and whatever time allows you can do. Have some be thicker than the others. Just have them, you know, all different. Oh, makes me, I get lost. I've told y'all that before, that I can come in here and start on something, and I mean, I'm just like gone. I don't even think about anything. I just am working and having fun, and you just forget all of the stress of the day, which is a big part of why I do art. It's definitely a big part of why I teach, because I love to help other women who might be in stressful situations, you know, get the benefits of it. And I just love the fact that even if you watch art being done for, I think 30 minutes was the minimum that will actually give you health benefits. But, you know, whatever you can do, I mean, that's amazing. So you don't even have to do it yourself to really get the benefits of it. Although I think I think that, you know, probably more benefits if you do it, but I don't know for sure. I've never really read the studies. I've just seen the studies and gotten kind of the gist of it. And I always say, teach your kids, teach your grandkids, teach your, you know, whoever you have influence over, because one day they're going to have stress. Well, I mean, we all have stress, even kids. but it's a great way for them to have a healthy outlet for the stress. Be sure, while I'm thinking of it, that you give this video a like if you enjoy it. That should help it get pushed out more. Commenting helps the video go further. I know I tell y'all usually, I've told you a lot, but that they, they look to see how you're reacting to it. So if nobody talks and nobody likes it or whatever, they're not going to push it out. So I appreciate y'all doing that. I know you always do, and I thank you for that. So once you think you have enough, it's just however many you want to sit and do. But you can put on your TV or music and really do a whole lot and just kind of get lost in it. Once I think I have enough, let's kind of move this over. And we can start assembling. So there's our legs. Now, I was going to show you, let me go ahead and take this off. It's not quite dry, but I use just a rough gator, this one, and I'll just kind of scrape it along that edge. You can also use like a nail emery file if you don't have one of these, and just scrape that all off. But these really rough ones will take this off really quick. I wouldn't normally do this on my desk like this, but I'm showing you. Normally it would be over my trash can. Oh, I'm so glad, Joanne. I feel like we're all just kind of hanging out, and that is relaxing for me. I do this every Monday at 6. It's 6 Central anyway, and it's getting dark so early, that it's kind of a good thing to do. You don't want to be out in the dark, right? Okay, so something like that. I should get my little vacuum cleaner out, but I'm trying to hurry a little bit. Okay, so the other thing I was going to show you is if you want to use, this is punchinella. If anybody wants a piece of this punchinella, I'll send it to you. Let me think how this best way. Send me your mailing address and I'll send you a piece of this punchinella. It can be a piece this size. You can just use it over and over and over. And I'll send you larger than that, so you can cut it up however you want. But just get it to me, not here don't put it in this chat, because then the whole world would have your address. Just, send it to me in some type of personal message or Facebook message or whatever. But I usually will take a little bit of paint, whatever color I want, and grab a plate and do a little bit to the background. It's just optional, but mixed media is kind of one of those that you can just keep doing. You can use ink. I like to use paint just because I have a lot of paint, but ink works too. Whatever you want to use. You can use a sponge is typically what I use. Let me show you. something like these. Oh, Brenda, thank you so much. You're so good to me. Quit doing that, but thank you so much. Appreciate it. You're loving it. Oh, good. I hope you'll do one again. Where can you buy that, Levita? Don't even bother. I'll send you some. But I bought this on Etsy. I bought a roll of it on Etsy. That's why I'm saying I don't mind sending y'all some, because I have a whole roll. And before I had my roll, I'm looking for a paper towel. I had a piece of it that somebody had given me that I had used for like a solid year or so, you know. Anyway, you can take a sponge like this, or, you know, whatever sponge you have. I use sea sponges, whatever I have. I'm going to tone down that yellow a little bit with my white, and I'll just show you, but like just put it down. Kind of like bubble wrap in a way, where you know, you get that look of the round circles back there. So you can just put some of those anywhere you want, any color you want. I mean, it's just kind of mixed media is this way, where you just use lots of different things on it, and it can be just whatever you have. I'm gonna do a little black. Don't know how much that'll show up, but it does, and just kind of gives it an imperfect look. And that's just the beauty of mixed media, is just layering and adding and adding. You can dry this and then you know, do other things on top of it. I don't really think for this I need a whole lot of stuff. I think I'm pretty good with this. Sometimes I will, and then I pop this in my little water. I have a little glass of water over here. And this, you can, if you want to keep it clean, take a baby wipe. Oops, I got two. And just wipe it, and you'll see that it is literally just like it's brand new. So that little piece, you just use that piece over and over. So anyway, get me your address if I don't know you don't have it, and I'll send you some. Sometimes I'll take my white and like even just take a finger and, you know, kind of calm stuff down if I feel like it's too much. That is another optional thing you can do. Sometimes I kind of go along the little edges or whatever, the little, just gives you more interest. That is just using my finger and that white. Do a little bit with the yellow. I mean, it's just for fun. So I'm not going to do a whole lot to it. Like I said, I think I like it just kind of like I had the other. What are some ideas if you don't have a stars napkin? A stars napkin. Okay, well, that's a piece of scrapbook paper, but you could totally use just any, you could just paint it and then paint your stars. Or, you know, what I did on these, this is my blue background, and then I took my gold paint marker and just, or no, I used this. I used the gold paint. And remember, did you watch the tutorial? Yeah, I think you did. But I just took, you know, like a little pick thing I have. You could use the end of a pencil, anything that's kind of sharp, a dotting tool, and dot that gold. And that would represent your stars. So now you want that to be dry before you start adding your Mod Podge and gluing down your manger. So I'm going to give that just a second. It really, I didn't do enough to it that it's wet. Thank you, guys. If anybody wants a little mixed media kit, I always do this for my VIP ladies. You know, I can give you, I've got plenty of this blue paper that has the stars, Brenda. I've got that, and I can give you some of my collage papers and like a page of a hymn, and you'd be good to go, and that would just be so cheap. So let me know if anybody wants one of those. It'd be like $5, right? So would not be much. Just pay me for the time to get it all together and ship it to you, right? Okay, once that is dry, we can start assembling our little design. So we've got our manger. I'm going to cut around the edges like here where things stick over. this was our template. So there's that. You know what might be pretty to have? Oh, I just thought of something I didn't think about on the others. But, okay, hear me out. Let's think about this. White pearl. Ooh, I just had an idea. What if we took our white pearl and made some streaks coming down, and then we'll put our star on top of that? I think that could be really pretty. I don't know about this. I've never used this to do it, so I'm going to test it on something. Let's just see how that would look. See how it looked like this. Kind of coming down like that. Or a finger. I think that's probably best to use something like this. Let's go for it, y'all. I think that could be really pretty. So white pearl, and we're going to take it from the top where I want my star to be, my main star, and just kind of come down. I like it. You just can't go wrong with this white pearl. Come on. Oh, I like that. Do y'all see that? Okay, that's all. I think that will be really pretty behind there. Okay. Here's our two legs, so let's start putting these things down. So really I need to do my legs first. I know, Teresa, the white pearl is you never go wrong. So I'm just laying this down gently until I can see if I have it in the right spot. I think that's good. None of this has to be exact. But I just kind of visually looked at my center and put them a little bit from that. Aw, thanks. Yeah, that white pearl is it's always a winner. I'm going to put a good amount on this. And I know you're wondering if you came in late, this is just a piece of an Amazon sack that they put that stuff on it. It's like kind of to pad it. And put that down about the center. Oops, careful. And then let's really seal it well. This will be fine. Everything I've ever done, you know, with Mod Podge or any type of sealer, it's thick paper, yes, but tomorrow it will be 1000% dry and it won't budge. I usually press it like this to get it really down well. Thank you, Sherry. And get all that glue kind of worked into everything. Okay. Now we can work on our little pieces of hay, which I kind of probably can't see, but when I did that shaving or that taking off the edge, I kind of got those all in the mix. So now I've got to try to clean that out. It'll be okay if they're not perfect, but so I'm just going to be sure there's plenty of Mod Podge down and then start putting those. And you can usually just use your brush to pick them up even. Let me know if you're thinking you're going to do one of these. Or if you have kids or grandkids over, well, I guess for most of us it would be grandkids at this point, right? You know, get them busy doing it while you're cooking or cleaning or whatever you have to do. Because trust me, when they get to do stuff like this, you know, they'll stay with it usually. The base is just a wood canvas. So it's 6 inches. And I always put a little hanger on the back to hang so you can hang it. But it also makes a good shelf sitter. Sometimes I feel like I get them too big and too long, but personal preference. Now, you know what else would be cute for this is raffia. If you have some raffia, you could use that for the hay. I don't have any. If I do, it is in my garage with everything else and not even worth trying to find. I'll be better off just buying a whole new bag of it. This would also be fun to get some girls together and put all your stuff, you know, out on the table and everybody just takes what they need and shares everything, and y'all could all make one. So hopefully you see that it's a very easy project. You just need some time, and like I said, put on something. Put on worship music. Put on a sermon you need to see. Put on a movie that you want to watch, and give yourself that time. In my email today, I send an email. I try to every Monday, and I said, you know, really, truly, I think that we're in such stressful days that we have to take the time to do something creative and kind of reset and forget our troubles for a while. And it really does that for me. You can stop whenever you're ready. I'm about done. 1 or 2 more pieces. But notice how I kind of would, you know, yellow, orange, orange, yellow, you know, kind of just let them have a variety of colors in there. That's good. Now, what did I do with baby Jesus? I know he's around here somewhere. Let's see. I'm afraid that when I moved all that stuff out of the way, did I? I try to be so organized when I go live so that I don't waste y'all's time. And here I am looking for baby Jesus. We can always do another one, but you know, he was right here a second ago. Is that the close? I may have to do another one. And that's okay, because somebody probably came in late and they get to see me. There's the first one right there. So just a little face. I'm sure I'm going to find him as soon as I start cleaning up. And like I said, I'll cut on the inside of this so we don't have the line. Just a little oval. So weird that I cut that out and don't know where I put it. It just got buried. Yes, relax. And usually after you do something creative and you know, kind of can reset, your problems are not, you know, we're going to be fine. Everything always ends up being fine, does it not? Our track record for surviving hard things is 100%. So just remind yourself of that. So I'm kind of getting my bearings on baby Jesus again. So there's going to be kind of the base, but let's cut it down smaller. Something like that. Probably need a bigger head now that I'm looking at it. So I don't know if y'all can see this. If this is his clothes, let's kind of think about the head shape from that perspective. Maybe something like that. And then I like to have a little kind of covering over the head. So let's see if I can make this work. My fingers have glue all over them. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that you guys came and hopefully are relaxed, right? Like I said, just watching somebody do art is relaxing. So not only are you learning and getting an idea, but hopefully you're relaxed. You're just kind of building, you know, and it certainly doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's going to work just fine. There we go. He is kind of at the, let's put him there, a little bit more in the center of it. So I could have made him even bigger if I wanted to, but this is going to be fine. So before, you know, before you get it, I put one layer of the glue down and I kind of moved him around, and now I'm going to really be sure he's down. And get all the edges. I like to use my fingers because that way I know everything is down well. And then at this point, because I can see, you know, he's kind of small in that bed, I am going to add just a few more little pieces of hay. I'll use this yellow now. Put a few of these in there. And see how layering all the different colors looks good. Our little dog is so funny. I say funny because I'm in here not dealing with it. When I'm the one dealing with it, it's not so funny. But we have a bell on the back of our door, and Blue always, rang the bell when she needed to go out. Blue was the best dog. I mean, just perfect dog. And so she'd ring the bell, so ladylike, and we'd take her out, or just open the door and she'd go out and potty and come back when she was ready. And this little dog has learned, yes, she will ring it to go out and do her business, but she also just rings it to go play, which is fine. We love to play. However, her play, like today, she found a snake. What else? She has found everything in the yard she's not supposed to find. We don't even know where she found this, but she found a lid to like some type of bug spray can, she comes running with it. So everything that could ever be out in the yard or under our shed, she manages to find. And Blue never did anything like that. So we're just kind of laughing because she's so ornery, but in a cute way. But you can't leave her alone for a second. Okay. I think we've got a great amount of hay here. Let's take a look. I do like our little pieces of the white pearl back there. I think I might even add just another touch. Eat rocks. Yeah. I think she's the type that will eat anything she can find. She is one of those. Not eat really, but play with, I'm just gently kind of, I love that look. White pearl just makes everything better. I'm going to bring it all the way to the top of the page too. Okay, might even bring some on top, like that. Now, for our star, you can use your paint. You can use a paint marker. I think I'm going to use paint. Paint marker's okay, but paint, I'm a paint person. And it will be a little thicker with paint. So just grab a detail brush if you're going to do this. And from the top, like that. I know, Marcia, it does me too. It's always so funny when one of y'all says, "What about white pearl?" And I'm like, oh, yes. I've got y'all trained for sure to remember white pearl. So when I forget, y'all remember. And then a few of these. And I put some of these gold, up in here with the hay around his face. Or you can put it all over the manger, but I put it. Lulu's and Debbie's are sleeping. They had their annual vet visit for their shots and checkup. Aww. So are they, did they have any, issues, or they're just sleeping it off? I know some of them seem to hurt after, but we've never had any problems with shots. Just adding some gold in there too. Now let's find, I love adding words with my mixed media. So whether it's, cutting out, this is from the hymn. This is from the actual hymn. I just cut the title out and put that there. But you can also print it on just printer paper. But look, and I thought it might even be good to have just that little line there. So let's try it. I was going to cut it all out, but until I just thought, should we have the notes there too? So what do y'all think? Should we put this off to the side here, in the middle, down here, or should I cut out only the words and use just the words? Y'all give me your vote on that. While you're voting on that, just tell me in the comments here what you think. I am going to dry our gold. I'm going to put that right here. And so we can use our marker and do a little bit of pen work on this. Yes, Judy, some things do take longer for sure. We didn't use a lot of paint, so it's going to dry really quick. But the paint and the glue needs to be dry before you do any pen work, or you'll ruin your pen. And I like to use, usually I use a Pitt pen or a, what's the other thing? I'm blank. Micron pen or a Pitt pen, but typically the Pitt pen is my go-to. No issues. Toby's 15. Oh, they do pout. It's so funny. Just the words. I think so too. I like that too. Sorry, gotta run. Okay, Tina. Oh, sorry. Well, I'm glad that you were here. I agree with y'all on that. It's a cute thought, but yeah, I didn't think it looked right. I do try to cut that straight. I'm going to use like a strip of it like that. Oh, I kind of like it at the top too. Now it's pretty small. It's not like the other one, but that's what we're going to use. Okay, let me put that down. Also with a little Mod Podge. Now I am going to dry that also so that we can use our pen on that. I didn't get it quite perfectly even, but you know, it's okay. Never sweat it. Don't worry about if it's not perfect. Getting it done is so much more important than it being perfect. Macaron, yes. I go blank when I'm live. Okay, so then for pen work, I like to just do sketchy lines here and there. So I'll kind of go around everything. Just be sure it's good and dry. And when I say sketchy, see how I'm just kind of going over and over and just kind of making it real messy. That's just my style, but you can do yours neat if you'd like. I'm going right inside, but I also go outside too. I don't do every single one, but I do think the black adds a lot. Ron has been cooking for definitely the whole time I've been live and before. He is making us a big pot of chili. And I'm excited. And of course, it's going to get back in the 80s later in the week. But we're like, while it's cold, we're going to enjoy it. And then this is a Pitt pen. So it's a Faber-Castell is the brand. Pitt Artist Pen is what it is. And anytime I've used this, Andrea, it'll be on our supply list. I love these. I think they just work so well. They have all different nibs. So this is a 0.5, which is just a medium. Y'all see? Medium nib. It's pretty, I'd say pretty big compared to some. And 0.5 is probably the one I use the most. And then I just come along the edges, very sketchy. If you want yours neater, go for it. I think this adds a lot. And you can come on the inside too if it's not quite enough. Sometimes I do that. I don't always. It just depends on if I think it needs it. It's not showing up very well. Sometimes I do. Oh, and then this. I don't know if this is going to show, but I usually go over the whole thing in black here. I'm going to go over it in gold too. So I don't know if it'll show. And for that, I use this Pen Touch gold marker. I know. Oh, Northwest Louisiana. Yes, Patty. We had to put the things on the faucet last night because we had the freeze warning, and so funny because, like I said, it's going to be 80 later this week. See how pretty that gold is? And then you could edge it with gold or any color you want. I'm going to use gold paint rather than the marker. So I'll get, and you know, feel free to use a sponge. But man, when I do mixed media, I go all in and I'm just using my fingers. Half the time I have a big wad of paint right there to dip in. I just really have fun with my mixed media. You can use a sponge or, you know, make it really neat on the edge, but this is my style, is to make it pretty sketchy and artistic. I think that gold's going to add a lot. I'll have to paint the sides another time. I didn't want to do it on the live. I like to only do what I have to do on the live to save time, but I did this one just with the navy blue, just regular navy blue paint. So that's that one. So let me hold this up and I'll let you guys see. That's what it looks like. Totally done. I do think the addition of the white pearl is special. Looks really pretty. So when it's sitting on a shelf or hanging on a wall, you know, as somebody goes by, you'll see. Hi, Mary. Thank you. You do? Yeah. Brenda, I don't know why. I think for me, they just write better or they're thicker. I'm not quite sure what I like about them. I can't explain it. I didn't do the gold edges on this one, but I do like the gold. I might add the gold. I think I will add the gold to this. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm so glad y'all are here. If you haven't hit the like button and you enjoyed what we did tonight, please hit it. And maybe that will help. Appreciate you guys so much. We just hit, it's funny, we just hit 20,000 on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, that's good, but I don't even care about Facebook. I'm trying to get followers over here on YouTube. But I'm grateful for all of you guys. And I hope that you enjoy what we do, and you can definitely always request something if you're wanting me to do something and I haven't done it. Good. Yes, Patty, I agree. The imperfections, what I have always felt is the imperfections just remind me that I'm imperfect. Our art is imperfect, and that's okay. You know, it's still beautiful. We're still beautiful even though we're flawed. So it's just my little special reminder. And I try to tell all the ladies that, you know, we have to accept ourselves the way we are. We're always trying to improve and get better, but don't begrudge, you know, your journey. We're all imperfect. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. I am so grateful y'all were here. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next Monday, same time, same place. If you're in the VIP group, I will see you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock live. And you can go to my website to find just about anything you need, artgracepaint.com. Highly recommend you go look at the art bundle sale. It ends at midnight Eastern. So that's like 9 o'clock on the Pacific coast. So, right? Or 8 o'clock. I'm not even sure. I'm not good with the time thing. But all right, guys, have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.